Hello there. So good to be with you all. I am just honored that you are giving me the time to share my story. So, my name is Courtney Cecil. I'm the proud founder of Working Moms Movement, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my journey. So, if we haven't met before, sure is glad to meet you. I'm a proud wife and mom of two boys. They are 7 and 8 years old. I'm a corporate executive at a Fortune 50, where I have the great pleasure of leading culture and organizational behavior change. I am an industrial and systems engineer, a very proud Virginia Tech Hokie. I am in the process of publishing my first children's book about the first day of school, and it is my love note to parents because the kids get all kinds of books for themselves. We need something to be able to give comfort to the parents too as they go through major life milestone changes of their kids. And last, I love the lake. I'm a avid traveler and I love some sparkling wine. And guess what, friends? I have a confession. I wanted to grow up being a stay-at-home mom. I know, ironic considering I now lead a business called Working Moms Movement. Okay, so I have been able to apply that background in systems engineering and organization efficiency and behavioral psychology and that sort of thing to my own demanding life. And it's helped me create the life that I wanted, one where I've been able to maintain a clutter-free and orderly home, where I've been able to travel 80% of my weekends for fun because I want to and I love it, and to see my family and friends. One where I've been able to put my kids down to bed every night and be fully present. One where I can maintain my health and work out and eat healthy and do the things that I know will keep me here and keep me thriving for years to come. I've been able to manage very intentional, strong relationships, and I still have quality time to myself daily. But friends, I also remember feeling like I couldn't escape the daily grind. Being a working mom is hard, and I was felt like I was carrying that mental load of managing the entire house on my own. And I knew that working outside the home instead of performing full-time childcare responsibility was the right decision for me. My family and the financial goals that we had were fairly lofty. I knew it was the right decision for me. But I also knew that I needed to figure out how to better manage being chronically stressed, chronically tired, and chronically overwhelmed. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey. This is me. I like to call this my beautiful fiction. I was 6 months pregnant and squeezing my firstborn. But again, it was all fiction because this, folks, was my hot mess reality. I was tired and I was stressed. So tired, so stressed. Because I too felt like I couldn't escape the daily grind of being a working mom. So, to paint the picture, the week leading up to my second maternity leave, my 18-month-old, the one in the bottom left, he had an incredibly hard time learning to walk. I mean, 6 months of incredibly time-consuming physical therapy to be able to teach him how to go from laying down to sitting up on his own, sitting to standing, and standing to walking. So that happened. It like drained everything we had. My nanny quit again the week before my second was born. I had no heads up, by the way. My boss, who was the chief people officer where I worked, and I was leading talent strategy for her, she resigned, which meant that while I was out of maternity leave, I was getting full throttle pulled back into work, making sure that I had everything from her needed to be successful after she transitioned out of the firm. And then to top it off, I was in the final 3 months of custom building my house, and that there's just a lot of demanding energy and time that's needed to be able to pull that off. And not to mention the fact that I was the whole time I was on a maternity leave, I was spending going back and forth between my current home and an hour round trip away to the new home with a toddler who just learned to walk, nails everywhere, nursing, trying to figure out how to do it all. And of course, everything with a building, there's a move that accompanies it. And I was living at the time in this super old 1952 house. There were two adults. It was a two-bedroom house, by the way. Two adults, a newly walking toddler, a newborn, and all the stuff a newborn brings, and a dog. And then evidently lots and lots and lots and lots of boxes. We couldn't move. You can kind of see the picture of um my toddler, I mean my newborn, and the boxes right behind me. It was just a mess. And to add to it, I was going through some fairly borderline postpartum depression. And I was rocking diapers. My youngest was rocking diapers. You think about your postpartum journey, I was drenched in hormonal sweats, which is gross. Like I was doing sitz bath for my butt, sitz baths for my boobs because my newborn was a piranha. Like it was just hard. And then made even harder by my husband not having any parental leave at all. And I had absolutely no additional family support. And again, remember my nanny quit. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I'm with you. A lot of these are first world problems. At the end of the day, I have two healthy kids, a thriving marriage, a successful career. I'm custom building a house. Um, I'm not blind. I want to acknowledge that. But the point was not what I was managing, it was how much I was managing and how desperate I was for something to change. My schedule was absolutely maxed. My hormones and emotions were high. I felt torn in every direction. I did not feel like myself. Not to mention that for 18 months, I had suffered through unpredictable childcare and I'd been chronically struggling to be present at home and present at work, and like just nothing was working. So again, I was tired, I was stressed, I was borderline desperate, and I was lonely too. Of all of my close girlfriends that I went through maternity leave with, I was the only one that ended up going back to work. So I had nobody to share my working mom life struggles with. And that meant having to navigate it alone. And that became even more extreme as I introduced my youngest to the world because going from 0 to 1 was something, but going from 1 to 2, for anybody that's done that, you will attest, it is absolutely bananas and infinitely harder than I expected. My husband and I were kind of cocky with one. We're like, I don't know what people are talking about. Like, that's a cakewalk. No, we got rocked. We got absolutely rocked. And of course, work only gets busier as you continue moving up, but particularly my circumstance because of the resignation of my boss. So I knew my only option was not to continue on that path because I could not sustain that level of crazy for another 3 months, let alone another 3, 6, 13, 19 years, or however much it was. Like, I knew my only option was to commit to changing my circumstances. Falling victim to inertia was not one of those options. So, and I knew that I, like Courtney Cecil, had to be the one to be accountable for bringing that level of order and balance into my life. So, with that context, in addition to me being a recovering frazzled working mother, let me share a little bit more about who I am. I'm from a small town called Tazewell, Virginia, and I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am certified in facilitating behavior psychology and self-improvement. I am a Six Sigma Black Belt. I'm a project management professional. I am certified in pro-side change management. I am a master culture facilitator. So what do all those certifications mean? Other than I was very studious at work, it means that I'm technically trained in improving processes. I'm technically trained in organization and efficiency and getting change to stick. I'm also the proud founder of Working Moms Movement. I have mentored hundreds of working moms, both formally and informally, and that is what has led me and inspired me to build Working Moms Movement. And after figuring out how to find true work-life balance for myself, I now help moms figure out how to free themselves of the daily grind of working while raising young kids. Because, mom, you, my friend, deserve more time to spend on yourself and your kids. Life's too short not to. I'm here to tell you. So, my friends, based on my experience and my technical training, I may be able to help you if you feel stuck in the daily grind of work and life, or if you just generally are frustrated with the balance or lack thereof of work and life today. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you feel like you're carrying the weight of household responsibilities on your own, if you have mom guilt over not spending enough time with your children, or if you wish there were more than 24 hours in a day. If any one or all of these resonate with you, you're in the right place. And I'm here to help you because I remember quite vividly what it feels like to be at this stage in life. Like you, I couldn't afford to watch life pass me by and miss out on my one and only chance to live and experience the innocence of my boy's childhood. And nor can you. Like me, you deserve to put your kids down at night, to feel your best, to have a healthy marriage, to take time to care for yourself, to do enough at work without only giving your colleagues your best self, to not feel mom guilt for having a career, to get your essential items done in a day, to laugh with your girlfriends and experience the world, to take care of your body and sleep and free your mind and be more present and feel true work-life balance and to feel totally in control. And yeah, this list seems like a no-brainer, right? Yeah, who doesn't want that stuff? Of course we all want it. But why don't we have it then if we're so clear on what we want? So this is certainly not an exhaustive list, but here is my own brainstorm on why you might not have those things right now because you might be weighed down by chasing somebody else's vision on how to live your life. Or our partners don't actually feel like partners. Or maybe you have childcare that is inconsistent and unreliable like I did. Or you're nursing and it feels like absolute handcuffs. Or your coworkers start out being super supportive when you come back from maternity leave, only to a few weeks from now to forget that you're juggling all this change at home. Your sleep might be disrupted by hormones or little ones or your busy mind and making sure that you're trying to prioritize everybody else's wellness. Or you have mental health challenges, whether that be postpartum depression like I did, or struggling to keep up with balancing your kids' activities. Or maybe you have self-doubt about parenting and the quality of your work, both at home and at work. Or you have self-esteem issues with your new body. Or maybe there is pressure, whether that be external and extrinsic or intrinsic, but pressure to be promoted at the same pace as your coworkers. Or there's just a ton of moving parts, making it really hard to fit it all in. We're all pretty accountable. I imagine you would not be watching me right now if you do not care, if you do not have a high level of accountability already, whether that be to yourself, to your bosses, to being the best you can for your kids. But what that means is we often stop prioritizing ourselves. And sometimes it's because we don't have the knowledge or the clarity that we need on how to do it. And sometimes it's because we just keep getting swept away by the daily grind. Whether that be because we don't have the right systems in place at home or at work to be appropriately organized, or that we just haven't committed to being who we know we need to be for ourselves and for others. There are a lot of different reasons that we might be feeling like we're losing ourselves and that we're losing control and we're losing all of our free time. But this, my friends, is why I'm here. So, I'm here to change your life, and I don't want to just give you a quick fix to serve you for the next 6 weeks. I want you to change the course of your life for the next 60 years. Like I have been able to help my other clients, like I have been able to help myself, and like I'm confident you can too with the playbook that I have to offer. They are very simple solutions that can have very meaningful, everlasting change. So I can't wait to work with you and help you combat burnout, reduce your stress, and find more of that precious time you deserve. So you can be fully present with your family, care for your own well being, and still have a thriving career. So let's connect and figure out how to design your future together. Thank you for being here. And if nobody's told you lately, you're doing a great job, Mama. You've got this.